Never confuse being cheap with being smart. Cheap saves pennies. Strategy stacks thousands. Let me show you how to live frugal without feeling deprived. You're watching MCubed Money Mindset Makeover. This isn't just a channel, it's a mindset revolution. If you're tired of the old school financial advice that doesn't work in today's economy, hit subscribe and let's flip the script together. Today, we're breaking down 15 frugal living hacks that actually work for Millennials and Gen Z in 2025. These aren't boring penny pinching tips. They're real strategies to help you cut what doesn't matter, spend on what does, and finally stop feeling broke. Stick around, because the last hack flips the whole game, and once you see it, you'll never spend the same way again. Let's start with a hack that's less about sacrifice and more about strategy. Hack 15, master the side hustle. If you're trying to treat yourself without wrecking your budget, you don't just need to save harder, you need to earn smarter. That's where the side hustle comes in. And no, I'm not talking about grinding until 3 AM for pennies on Fiverr. I mean small, simple gigs that line your fun money fund. 61% of Gen Z and over a third of millennials already have some kind of side hustle. Why? Because even an extra $100 a week adds up to more than $5 grand a year. That's a new laptop, a vacation, or a credit card bill gone. Instead of seeing side hustles as extra work, think of them as the ultimate guilt-free splurge fund. And when you've got extra cash rolling in, you can flex without touching your rent money. Which brings us to the next hack: how to look good without paying retail prices. Hack 14, pre-loved power. Thrifting isn't just a trend, it's an economy. The second-hand apparel market is projected to hit over $70 billion by 2029, and Gen Z is leading the charge. Why? Because it's not just cheaper, it's cooler. Why pay $200 for a Zara jacket that everyone already posted on TikTok when you can snag a vintage leather one for $40 at a thrift shop? Not only do you save, but you stand out. Plus, you're reducing your environmental footprint while flexing originality. That's a triple win: money saved, unique style, and sustainable living. But frugality isn't just about stuff. Sometimes, it's about creating experiences for cheap, or better yet, free. Hack 13, DIY your fun. Self-care and entertainment don't need to cost $100 every time. You can bring the fun home, and honestly, it usually hits harder. Host a pasta night with your friends where you cook from scratch, make cocktails, and laugh about the chaos in the kitchen. Or set up a DIY spa day with avocado face masks and dollar store candles. Here's the kicker: the average American household spends about $3,600 a year eating out. If you swap just 2 nights of takeout for at-home fun, you can save more than $1,000 annually. That's not a small chunk, that's rent, a loan payment, or money you could actually invest. So now that we've got cheap fun handled at home, let's step outside and explore what your city already has waiting for free. Hack 12, free entertainment. Your city is basically a treasure chest, if you know where to look. Free museum nights, outdoor concerts, community workshops, movie screenings at the library, they're everywhere. Think about it: instead of dropping $60 on drinks at a bar, you could pack a picnic, head to the park, and have a night you'll actually remember. Free fun doesn't mean boring fun. It means your entertainment budget stretches further, so when you do splurge on something big, it feels epic instead of routine. And speaking of splurging wisely, let's talk about the purchases you regret the most: the impulse buys. Hack 11, the 24-hour rule. Impulse shopping is basically engineered by the apps we use. One-click checkout is designed to make you broke. So here's the hack: wait 24 hours before buying anything over $50. Sleep on it. Research shows that cooling off periods reduce emotion-driven purchases. And 9 times out of 10, the next morning you don't even want it anymore. That's not deprivation, that's dodging regret. And if you still want it the next day and it fits your budget, buy it guilt-free. But sometimes, even with the rules, life throws you curveballs. That's where the next hack comes in, because being frugal doesn't mean being rigid. Hack 10, break the rules strategically. Budgets aren't prison, they're blueprints. If you plan for a camping trip but suddenly your favorite artist announces a once-in-a-lifetime concert, go for it. The trick is to rebalance. Maybe skip restaurants for a week to make room for that ticket. Frugal living isn't about saying no forever. It's about saying yes to the right things, and cutting back on the noise so you can afford the moments that actually matter. And while we're here, let's get real. Life isn't meant to be lived on a spreadsheet. Hack 9. Don't be a spreadsheet robot. Financial planning is important, but money isn't just math, it's memories. If your budget says no, but your gut says, this experience will feed my soul, sometimes you spend. Because no one looks back fondly on their perfectly balanced Excel sheet. They look back on the time they laughed until they cried at a concert with friends. The trick is balance. Plan smart, but don't let the numbers choke the joy out of your life. And speaking of balance, let's talk about the FOMO trap that's draining your wallet without you even noticing. Hack 8. FOMO Slayer. Social media is engineered to make you jealous. Your friend's Bali trip, your coworker's designer bag, it's all a highlight reel. But here's the truth. The joy doesn't have to be yours. Spending based on comparison is a losing game. Instead, ask yourself, what actually makes me happy? Maybe it's a $50 comedy show, not a $1,200 vacation. When you prioritize your own values, every dollar goes further, because you're not chasing someone else's flex, you're living your own. And while we're on the subject of smart money choices, here's a quick reality check. The sticker price is rarely the real price. Hack 7. Think long-term costs. That shiny new phone with a $0 down offer, not free. Factor in the monthly plan, the accessories, the repairs, the upgrades, and suddenly your cheap deal costs thousands over a few years. Same with gym memberships you never use or subscriptions that quietly renew. Frugal living means zooming out. Before you buy, ask, what does this cost me over 5 years, not just today? Often, the long game reveals the real expense. And if the long game feels intimidating, here's a happier angle. Invest in memories instead of stuff. Hack 6. Memories over materialism. Think about it. $300 on a weekend trip with your best friends will give you stories you'll tell for years. The same $300 on fast fashion. Forgotten in a season. Research shows that experiences create more lasting happiness than material purchases. And it makes sense. Memories compound in value over time. Every time you think back, you get another return on that investment. Stuff, on the other hand, depreciates the second you swipe your card. So let's keep stacking hacks that double the payoff. Hack 5. Multitasking treats. Why choose one indulgence when you can double up? Do a free museum night and then grab happy hour drinks. Turn a jog into a scenic hike. Host a game night that doubles as a potluck dinner. This isn't about deprivation, it's about stacking experiences so you get twice the value for half the price. When you start thinking like this, frugal living feels less like restriction and more like strategy. And speaking of strategy, sometimes frugal isn't about cutting corners, it's about buying back your time. Hack 4. The lazy life hack. We've all had those weeks where you're too drained to cook, clean, or function. The frugal move isn't to torture yourself, it's to plan for it. Instead of $20 DoorDash every night, batch cook on Sunday so your fridge saves you later. Instead of weekly laundry service, try every other week and stretch your dollars. Convenience isn't bad. It's only bad when it's unplanned. Build in little luxuries that actually improve your life, and suddenly you're both frugal and sane. And if you're really trying to level up, don't spend on more stuff. Spend on yourself. Hack 3. Level up your skills. Trendy clothes go out of style. Skills don't. Instead of another $80 on fast fashion, imagine putting that money toward a coding class, a language course, or a pottery workshop. Upskilling pays. Studies show workers who reskill see meaningful bumps in income. And beyond money, the confidence and opportunity that come with new skills are priceless. When you spend on yourself, you're buying assets that appreciate over time. And that leads perfectly into the next hack, because treating yourself is great, but only if it feels special. Hack 2. Treat yourself like a VIP. If you buy something every day, it stops being special. A $6 latte once in a while feels indulgent. A $6 latte every morning just feels like routine. Make your splurges rare and intentional. Turn them into rewards, not habits. That way, when you do treat yourself, it feels luxurious instead of forgettable. And that brings us to the final hack, the one that ties it all together. Hack 1: Be intentional AF. This is the golden rule. Before you swipe, ask, am I buying this because it's a true treat, or because I'm bored scrolling? Intentional spending is the difference between broke regret and empowered indulgence. When you spend on purpose, even small purchases feel satisfying. When you spend on autopilot, no amount is ever enough. Intentionality is the secret sauce that makes all the other hacks work. So which was your favorite? Please friends share your favorite frugal living hack in the comment section below. I see every comment and will attempt to respond to every one of them. Let's connect MCubed Mavericks. Now here's the twist. Being frugal isn't about saying no to life. It's about saying yes on your own terms. You're not avoiding fun, you're upgrading it. You're not cutting joy, you're cutting waste. Think of money like water. If you let it leak everywhere, it disappears. But if you channel it into buckets, savings, investments, fun, you control the flow. Cheap people just say, no, strategic people say, not that. That's the difference between deprivation and direction. Here's the rule to tattoo on your brain. Save on what depreciates fast, splurge on what compounds. Save on impulse buys, trendy clothes, subscriptions you forget about, high April debt. Splurge on skills, safety, tools that save you time, and experiences that become memories. That's how you stop feeling broke and start building freedom. This is the moment where broke ends and ownership begins. So here's your playbook, MCubed fam. Cut the leaks, spend on purpose, invest in yourself, and keep joy in the budget. Frugal doesn't mean less, it means smart. It means you get to have the concert and the rent, the splurge and the savings, the fun and the freedom. Stick around for the next video. How to build wealth from nothing, 9 personal finance tips. Your future self already hit subscribe. Remember, it's all about being smart with your money so you can experience the things that truly matter this year. Now go forth and spoil yourself responsibly.